Hello and welcome to another episode of Space Engineers. And in the last episode, we're working on setting up this artillery base. I have worked on it. I've got it ready. It's kind of janky. Some of the armor doesn't really match up nicely. If I was going to build it again, I'd definitely redesign it to have the armor be nice and smooth. But we're in times of war, so it doesn't really matter. It's functional. That's all that I really care about right now. And as such, we can actually give a little bit of a demonstration here. We are ready to fire, and the enemy base over there is in our sights. We have been working on this coastal defense battery as we're trying to disable it such that the Marauder can get closer without fear of being destroyed by that 500mm, and we can move into the enemy base. And such, we can demonstrate the power. Oh yes. A fire. We can follow the shells through the air as they arc. And oh man, I've said this multiple times, but I have to say it again. When I was thinking that they were adding artillery to the game, this is the kind of thing I was hoping they were adding. Long-range, indirect fire, bombardment. Now, it's not too terribly accurate at these extreme ranges, but if you fire enough shells, you'll eventually get through. And also, as you can see, they have their CIWS defenses. But I'm capable of overwhelming that defenses and getting some shells through, but also distracting those defenses and the various guns that are going to be shooting at my projectiles instead of shooting at me in the Marauder. So when it comes down to it, I'll do as much damage as I can to this little bunker, but eventually I'll just have to abandon it, and I'll target their main base down the center and just try to bombard the area, and hopefully all of their defenses will be distracted shooting at my shells while the Marauder drives straight down their throats. Now, to add this, what we are doing today, and to add to this attack, is we are going to add some attack drones. So we need to get out of here, as we need to head back to base and get some of the attack drones being made. And you may have noticed the C-130 here now has a new door, and also had a connector in the back that I just very easily destroyed. Yeah. Whatever. We're just gonna roll with the punches here. That's easily replaced. But what we're gonna do is we have a few drones that we captured from the AI. We have a courier of some kind. I can't remember its exact name. And then this is something its antenna isn't on. I think these two will be very good distractions. I'm even contemplating putting shields on them and just sending them in to fly to the enemy base and hover above it and just serve as extra targets for the 500mm so that they are not shooting at the Marauder as I'm going in. As such, what we need to do is do some retrofitting to these. They need a little bit more. I think this one needs a little bit more lift. I think it has maybe enough downwards thrust. They definitely both need shields. They both need some additional turrets with a little bit of extra plumbing, and they could conceivably use some extra armor. So, when we get back to base, we're going to start retrofitting those drones to be some kamikaze distractions that we can send in ahead of us. And as I'm heading back, what the hell is that in the water? I know there's an enemy base right there that's been destroyed, but the heck? That thing has no signal at all. What is that? I think we might have another thing to salvage. Excellent. Another thing to distract the enemy with. I'm very excited about that. Well, let's go in for a quick landing and then fly out and see what that thing is. What is this thing? It's a large grid. It's completely out of power. And this looks frickin' perfect for what I need to do. Oh my god, this thing is huge! What? Oh my god, and it's completely intact! Because it landed in the water. And it's got a... frickin'... what are these, artillery or assault? These are assault cannons. Oh my god! This thing is perfect! I honestly did not expect to find this episode. Sweet. I'm afraid the moment I open the door, it's gonna sink. Because its innards is the only thing that's probably keeping it afloat. It is a Sky Factory. Oh my god, it's got speed modulars and stuff. Oh, unfortunately it does not don't help anything because of Industrial Overhaul mod. But hey, look at this thing. It is ginormous. Nobody, well, now I own it. It is now mine. I just need to jumpstart this thing. It just needs some power. Oh, I could totally connect this to the Wave Rider. I could come out here, I could plunk the Wave Rider beside this thing. Or even just hover it, or just land on it, for frick's sake. I can just land on it and then put a cable to it and drain some of the power from the Wave Rider, just enough to get this thing jump-started and get some fuel into it. Does it have, has hydrogen engines? Does it have a reactor? No, it doesn't. That would be very easy to add. Well, it looks like this episode has turned into salvaging this thing instead of what I was originally planning, because that's going to make a perfect flagship for my attack force. Okay, coming on down here. And honestly, I think we can just land on it. Just flop ourselves down on the front of this thing. And we don't... I don't think we'll need to connect ourselves up or anything. Like, physical connections. We can just rest on the top of it. Right? We can just land here, can't we? We'll just... we'll just plunk ourselves down. On the front of the thing right here. Yeah. Dampeners off. Yep, we can land. Okay. So now what we can do is I brought the materials out that I need to put in a charging station on this thing. And with that, we should be able to hook it to the Wave Rider. And then, whoa! And the inhibitor field is a disabled jetpack. It's a good thing we were on it when we did that. Inhibitor field off. Thank you. And, oh, looks like everything's powered on. We should probably hurry, though, because it is most likely using up what limited power the Wave Rider does have. The Wave Diver, I mean. And we can get to the cockpit. Yep, here we go. And I think this is going to be the main... Oh, no, we don't have enough power to take off. Not enough coming from the Wave Diver. Just enough that we can move forward a little bit. No, our parachutes. Parachutes. Close. Off. Thank you. At least we can start moving it towards the shore. We only have 33 minutes of power. and not enough to activate the large thrusters in order to lift off, which makes sense. The Wave Diver only has so much. But at least now I have control of this thing, and it is jump-started. I guess the next thing is we'll get it a little bit closer to shore. We'll run back to base, grab the materials we need to make a small reactor, and throw a reactor on this thing. Maybe get enough power so that we can just barely float our way back to base. Because all we need to do is just get close enough to base that we can plug in. That's all that matters. So we can plug in. And then once we're plugged in, this thing has batteries. Yeah, it's laughing for batteries. We can just charge those batteries up, and it'll be able to fly for hours. Excellent. After thinking about it, I'm not sure that a reactor on this thing will work, because the small reactors are now RTGs, and they don't put out very much power. And the large reactors are just so huge. But what we have done is we've secured it to the seabed. What that will allow us to do is put a wind turbine on it, and at least start giving it some quantity of power. And I can take this thing, I can take the wind turbine off sometime in the future. That's quite easy to do. And I can just charge it up here for a while I'm working on some other stuff, and then eventually take it away. So I think all the way up here should be good, and we'll put one of the large wind turbines down. And this bad boy should be enough to get this thing working. So just gotta grab one more load of materials. Excellent. Now that should be starting up. Now we should have some power on this thing. Let's go take a look at our available power in this rig. Okay. Total required negative 3.8 million watts? What? I'm confused. Batteries, are you at least charging? Fully recharged in 5 hours. At least it's charging. That's all that really matters. But the rest of this stuff, pretty much everything can get turned off. Vara vents are fine. That's fine. We don't need the antenna right now. All of the turrets are currently... Oh, most of them are off. But they don't take much power. Everything is off here. It's good. Decoys. Not much else in this ship that would be taking a whole bunch of power right now. What's in the inventory here? We got some communication records, some guns, a few bits of ammunition, and any other resources. Are the O2H2 generators online? That is a very good question. Good, they are all off. We just need to charge those batteries, and then we can get out of here. So I can just leave this thing as is. It is going to slowly charge. I'll probably go and add another let's just throw on a second wind turbine here for good measure. Go back and get some more resources, and then that thing will be ready to move probably midway through the episode. Right, and back, dock up, recharge those batteries on here, and we can start retrofitting these guys. Now, thankfully, I should have already charged their batteries. Yep, they've already been fully recharged. So we need to switch this to auto. And can you take off at all, Mr. Ship? Because you might be the interesting one. Your thrusters, are they even on? There we go. Oh, it's got a nice display on the center. Oh, cool. So you can turn your HUD off and you can still fly and see your display. That is excellent. And I can't remember if I set the build and repair to be the back or the front recently. But I will think it is here for repairing the Marauder, which was the last thing I did that I remember. So I'll plunk its butt back over here into the repair zone and land and disable the dampeners. And what do we got? 3 days of power. It's good enough for me. And it is being worked on by the build and repairs. Excellent. We can do the exact same thing here with whatever this thing is. It's like a luxury ship. It's got all sorts of seats and got a bunk and some food and a bathroom. It's like a transport vessel. Batteries, which is just for that one. All these batteries onto auto. And we'll get all of our thrusters on. Don't want to show block in. Why is the frickin' bathroom showing up in this list? We want all the thrusters, damn it, on. There we go. And this bad boy can come over here and park up beside the factory as well. Because there's more than enough room for them to both get their retrofits at the same time. Perfection. Right. Now, I think first things first is we need to check on our gold and our platinum stockpiles. As I should have field emitters, right? I have another 1,000 field emitters. My platinum stocks are very low. I've only got 4,000, just about 5,000 platinum. Our gold ore, sorry, not ore, ingots, we have only 10,000. So we need to go back to the desert, get some more gold. We need to go back into the ocean and get some more platinum. We'll do that probably on a live stream or something. And we're also running out of iron as well. I'll have to just make do with what we have. I just need to go get some more resources, as I have been transferring that iron over to... I have 230,000 iron. It's just over on the other... in the flak tower being used for ammunition. I could transfer some of that back, but I would personally like it if I didn't run out of ammunition at any one time. So I kind of want to keep that there for a good measure. But what we need to do to these guys is toughen them up. And I think both of them, this one already has several batteries. This one could use a couple more. So we'll add those. And then both of them could have a shield. Because I have 1,000 spare field emitters. And the ship shield emitter takes 400. So I have enough to put shields on both of these things. That's awesome. We'll do shield. Okay, first off, we'll just get some batteries. We'll do lithium batteries. We'll do the warfare ones because they look freaking awesome. And this guy seems to have a hole here. This is part of the interior, eh? I mean, I don't need to be able to walk down both sides. I can just have one side. And also, we don't need this AI control module anymore. This can go. So a battery can go there. And that'll bring the battery on this thing to 3. So I probably want 4 or 5, I think, in total to be able to fully utilize a shield in order to have enough power for it. So in that case, I can drop probably this catwalk, That scrap will get picked up here in a moment. And we can go boom, boom. And we can still use this side here to get in and out. We'll just have a pair of batteries there. And that will bring us up to 6, right? 5. Good enough. 5 batteries should be good. How else is this ship set up for plumbing? As it currently just has interior turrets on the outside of it. There are these hydrogen systems up top, so which means there is plumbing inside here. There is conveyorage. So I could conceivably take out that hydrogen thrusters and put turrets in those locations, which I think would be pretty tasty. I like that. I really do like that. We don't need hydrogen thrust, as I'm not even really making hydrogen anymore. No need for a metal detector or this little passage anymore. That light turret is not needed either. We can just fill that area in with armor, most likely. We don't... I'm not sure we'll need a turret facing backwards. I think what we'll do is we'll just... I think quite lazily just junction out a couple ways.
Inventory full.
Oh shit, there was a connection right here, dude. I could have just used that. Yeah, I'll get rid of that. Get rid of that. And just move our way out. And then I'm thinking, what do we want on this thing for turrets? We could just do regular turrets ourselves. We'll just strap some gats to this thing. If I take this one more further out, I can put a gat on top. And I don't want to lose those blocks there, so I could go one more further out, and I can put a gat on the side. This doesn't need to be pretty. It just needs to be functional. Because it is literally a sacrifice ship. Put a gat there, and then we just do the same on this side, so another few gats over here. Another 3 out. Put a gat there. And put a gat here. And we've got this little cross, like this little beam of gats on this thing that would be entirely functional. Sweet. And then probably just the same thing out the front, even if... Do we even need to? I mean, out the front, I could even just put a artillery turret or something, right? I could make that work. Or even like a missile turret. Or just keep it simple, stupid. And just put out a line of conveyor. And put a forward gat on this thing. Doesn't need to be pretty. Oh god, it's the frickin' this thing. This thing's in the way. Antenna's going away. Even add a gat there if we got rid of this block. Gat there. And one more out for a gat there. It ugly as sin, but I don't care. That is 5, 6, 7 Gatling guns that will be firing downrange at my opponent. I couldn't ask for more. And if they get shot off, who cares? This thing is sacrificable. And then for shield, we can slap on the emitter and controller, and I believe... Oh, we need some aluminum and stuff for that. But we believe we should be able to just put them in the back there, and they should power on. So we get some steel plates, and some aluminum. And we should be good. Right. Aluminum plate, steel plate. Very good. In a perfect world, this could go, say, here. And the controller can go there. And that should function, right? That's hopefully close enough to the outside of the envelope of the ship that it will activate shields. And then... Oh, these ones need girders. Why not put the whole thing on here? What am I doing there? I need to go into my inventory. Girds. Check this shield control here. Gotta make sure the shields are powering up on this thing. Which I think they are. They might just be really low power right now. Shield controller. Nice. Shield emitter. It's working. We can tighten this shield in as we don't need it to be that large, so we can get additional health to it. But for now, we'll turn them off. We won't worry about the shields. We know they turn on at least. That's all that matters. We'll slap down the modulator and the enhancer. And now this thing's got a fuck ton of guns. Ugly as sin, but highly functional. And then we just need to set a remote control, which we can slap back in here. Right beside here. Right. Right. Why can't I put it here? Because there's a window. Because this thing's wanting to be airtight, but I don't need it to be airtight.
Inventory.
We just get rid of this catwalk. And build and repair will take it away. There we go. We got our remote control. Excellent! Fill this thing up with a whole bunch of GAT ammo and send it in nice and low, and that'll function. It really doesn't need anything more than that. Oh, I could change these into GATs too. The downwards facing hydrogens. I totally should. Let's do that. Although I'm looking at it now, I'm thinking like, maybe I shouldn't, because I'm kind of afraid of running out of
Inventory full.
running out of lift. These thrusters are kind of looking like they're on their last legs here of trying to keep this thing in the air.
Inventory full.
How about I
Inventory
just
full.
drop the thruster there? And what are you? You're the O2H2 gen. How about I just slap another thruster in there for good measure on either side.
Inventory full.
Get an extra bit of
Inventory full.
lift. Doesn't have to be aligned. Who cares? It'll function. But if I set this thing to be at like, you know, a couple hundred meters off the deck and just send it in flying straight, it'll shoot some things before it gets destroyed. I think this thing looks awesome now. And all we need to do is add a foot for it to connect. Or do I? If this thing is actually fully built now, I'd think, with my crude changes, it just needs to park to get some ammo and charge. So why don't I just go and park it then? I've got this connector right over here. This abomination is ready for its suicide run. Alright, now this thing is next, and it doesn't have as much conveyorage set up as the other guy. Unsure what to do with this. What I can do is I could just literally cut open this center bit. it really doesn't need it. I can use this to get access to the cockpit, so I can come in and just leave that off permanently. And then I can just literally retrofit the center of this ship. So I can, let's just dump my inventory and start grinding away, because back here is the thrusters, and I can't really screw with that because this thing does need to fly. The thrusters are also downwards back there, yeah. So it looks like the front of the ship is the only thing that I can really do anything with. And there's no reason for me to have all this seating here. So we'll just cut this all away. Flatten this all out. And I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to have a bigger guns on this one. So the other one is just full of Gatlings. This one will have a few like assault cannons and turrets of some larger variety. So if I place big boy turrets on here, I can put like one here. If I cut through here, take all this interior wall off,
Inventory full. Inventory full.
I can put a cargo container right there in the center. Just a small one. That's all we should really need. And I can punch through and get to the bottom there and put a connector on there so I can connect it and get some ammo and power for this. That'll be easy enough.
Inventory full.
So I can punch through
Inventory
here,
full.
get rid of this blast door
Inventory
edge,
full.
and we can put a connector right here. Alright, let's go grab some actual building materials. Start putting that together. Coming up from the bottom, we're going to have a conveyor junction, and then we'll go for a small cargo container to carry the LE ammunition. And we'll go conveyor here, and also just conveyor forward. And we can put artillery, or what do we want to do with this thing? What do we want to do? As we do have a lot of options. We could conceivably put 100 millimeters on this thing, fill it up with 100 millimeters, and have it as a mobile flak tower sort of thing. Put 100 millimeter there. Put a couple 100 millimeters off the sides. Like, we can cut them. We can leave that window there. We can just cut through here straight and go boom, boom, and then 100. And the same thing over here.
Inventory full.
And that should give that some good strength to it. We can also save this little section in here for the shield parts. And that should give that some pretty amazing firepower, actually. Having triple 100 millimeters flying at the opponent. This should do a little bit of damage before it goes down. We can just clean up some of this armor here. That could go there. Make it look somewhat neat. Although, in the end, it doesn't really matter. This is all just gonna die in the fire of distraction. I'm so looking forward to this assault on the enemy base. It's gonna be really fun. And then what I could do is I could superfire a 100 mil. I could put one here, but like elevate it a couple times. Like even just one up would allow it to superfire over the top and do some damage to the opponents. Again, get this thing flying in low and low and fast, and it should be able to do some damage. I'm contemplating actually, instead of sending them in kind of as drones, just like on a pathing, I could fly them in with remote control. And that way get a little bit more effectiveness out of them before they eventually blow up. Because I could keep them at range and such. But that way, we've got quad 100mm cannons on this thing. I guess now the question is, does it still fly? Its lift is pretty shitty. But it seems to still fly. We've got 2 hours of flight time. And we can lift off. And, oh, it does already have a connector in the bottom. Oh, but that doesn't connect up to any of the system I've built, so it doesn't matter. What does this connector connect to? Is there a cargo container in this thing? I didn't see one. Is there something behind here? Not that I can tell. What do you connect to? You have the small cargo container that's incomplete. That's the one I placed. So you're literally just a connector into armor. Oh, you're just for power. Okay. You're just for power. We need something more. We need something for... Oh. Oh. We need something for ammo transport. Okay. We would run out of copper wire in the base. Oh, the base is probably going nuts trying to rebuild field emitters. And so we're probably, all of our wire drawers are going crazy building copper wire. Or at least they should be if they had any goodness in them. Where is it? Nano Assembler Master. Yeah, it's building those and they take a lot of stuff. So, our wire drawers need to build copper wire, please. I need copper wire in my life. And then one of them can build some gold wire. Excellent. And that container can get filled up. Perfection! And temporarily, we're going to slap down another quick little pillar here. Just another couple blocks up. And a connector. Such that we can connect the ship to it. And keep it from crashing once it runs to refuel it. All it needs is shield. Which we will plunk down right here.
Inventory full.
Take off this crap.
Full. Inventory full.
And we should be able to have enough room right here to put it down. Alright. Now that that one is getting its final touches, I think the Sky Factory should be ready to be brought back to the base. And realistically, I don't have to do much to edit this one. It's got a bunch of turrets on it already. I just need to slap a shield on it, charge it, and arm it. Like, I mean, just looking at this thing, we've got a pair of assault cannons, we've got some GAT. The side of it, we've got interior turrets. The bottom, we've got a pair of assault cannons and a GAT. Front, we've got GATs. This thing's fine. It just needs some ammo and durability. But let's check the power currently. How are you doing? Our bats are nice. 500 kilowatts each. And let's go take a look. Let's see if it can fly with that amount of power currently. Now, when we do unlock, we're going to lose our wind turbines here in terms of their effectiveness. But we seem to have some power. Let's take these Sky Factory batteries, turn them on to, okay, auto. let's save scum, because I'm a silly person, and give this a try. Dampeners are on. We'll unlock. And we've just got 3 minutes, but I don't need much more than that. Oh my god, this is slow. Okay, I need to use the downwards thrusters to get myself moving forward a little bit. I need to get there quickly before I run out of power. At least within range of a power line so that this thing can get fully charged. And might as well take it to the back of the factory so that we can do our repairs and edits to it there. But looks like we'll have just enough power to get there. Excellent. Boom, we are landed. We have made it here. And we can take these off before they get built up, as we don't need those anymore. Oops. Well, that could have gone better. That could have gone worse. And in the end, it works out. And can we charge... Can we plug this in there? No, it's too far away. I need to cut this off. And I need another power line. Oh, and I'm almost to run out of hydrogen. I need a new power line pillar, and I'll just put it there for now. And I need to get down these stairs before I run out of juice.
Fuel low.
Pop, 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 pop. Fuel's not low anymore. Computer.
Fuel critical.
And plug this bad boy into, sure, one of the thrusters. Bada bum. And now it's on the grid. And now we can charge. And its batteries, the Sky Factory, can go into recharge. And they can start slurping power from the base. Yeah, baby. Oh, I'm so excited. And then, last little bits of cleanup here. You can fall down there. We can go and grab a little bit of steel plate and aluminum girders. Slap down the final bits of shield onto the Sky Factory. That's our forward thruster. We don't really want to get in the way of that. Think there might be more than enough room to put the majority of this stuff inside. Do we really need these passageways? I don't need this turret in the center, that's for goddamn sure. Same with this. Oh my god, is this thing heavy armor? Portions of it are. And this AI control module can get the hell out. Because we need some room. And I missed your huge hydrogen tank. Yeah, whatever, you can just stay there. You're serving as conveyor pass-through, I assume. Get our remote control. We got our enhancer. We got our modulator. We got our controller. And put the emitter up on the roof. And we should be good. We'll shove the emitter right down in one of these slots here. Could shove it right down there. But I feel like I can sneak it right in here. Can't I? If I get rid of this catwalk, I can put the emitter right in here. And I think that'll work. As soon as build and repair picks up that scrap. Bada bum. Well then, we now have our attack fleet. It is being put together. We have Mr. Gats, covered in Gatling, ugly as sin, doesn't give a fuck, because it's just going to go fly straight in and just gat everything to death. We have the 100mm Wonder, 400mm cannons, ready to just flak the enemy to death, do as much damage as possible, as well as our big boy. We have got a Sky Factory. Basically vanilla. Very little retrofits to be done, except add in strong shields, make the thing invulnerable. So these 3 shielded craft will be sent in first. They'll be sent to various coordinates around the enemy base, where they will take up firing positions and or direct control over them, and they will suicide ram into the enemy ships. And then, following that attack, all while artillery is raining from the sky from my artillery base, the Marauder will take its great big steel bow and shove it up the enemy. And then hopefully the combined arms of air, sea, and artillery fire support will be enough to break the enemy stronghold. But you'll find out in the next episode. Until then, good hunting, fellow space engineers.